Your excessive kindness is an open invitation to be devoured by the wolves surrounding you now. Naivety is not a virtue. It is a fatal flaw in a world driven by hidden interests and egos. Machiavelli knew that he who tries to be good all the time ends up ruined among so many who are not. You are walking on an emotional minefield, and one false step could cost you your entire future. But there is an ancient and brutally effective way to read the mind of anyone standing next to you. It is not about magic, but 3 surgical questions that rip away any social mask instantly. When you ask these questions, the truth will escape before they manage to construct a lie. Prepare yourself to abandon childish illusions and see reality as it is, naked, raw, and necessary. The knowledge I'm about to hand you is the most silent and lethal weapon in your mental arsenal. Master these 3 psychological keys and never again be played for a fool by anyone in your life. Most make the fatal mistake of projecting their own honesty onto others, assuming everyone plays by the same moral rules. This projection is the root of the betrayals you have suffered. Machiavelli did not write about an idealized world, but about raw reality, a board where interests collide. To survive, suspend judgment and become a cold observer of human nature, ignoring what they say and focusing strictly on what they do when no one is watching. Understand that society demands the use of masks. The smile of the person next to you is often not affection, but a manipulation tool. The flatterer and the traitor operate on the same frequency. They say what your ego wants to hear to lower your guard. Strategic intelligence requires distrusting excessive ease. If something seems too perfect, someone is manipulating the scene. You need to read hidden intentions before they turn into real blows. The secret to deciphering any mind lies not in forcing a confession, but in creating situations where the truth escapes unintentionally. People rehearse speeches, but fail in consistency when confronted with the unexpected. The 3 questions you will learn are not interrogations. They are subtle psychological traps designed to bypass logical reasoning and touch directly on instinct. Apply them with the naturalness of someone talking about the weather. Let's go to the first layer of the mind: integrity under pressure. No one acts against their own benefit unless coerced. The question you will ask tests character when impunity is guaranteed. Most are honest in the light of day, but who are they in the darkness? You need to present a scenario of absolute power or easy gain. The answer will reveal if the person's morality is solid as a rock or fluid according to the convenience of the current moment. Ask casually, if you found a suitcase with money, no ID, no cameras, and no one would ever know, what would cross your mind? Note the subtlety. Do not ask, what would you do? But, what would cross your mind? This gives permission for the person to reveal the dark instinct without feeling judged. If they answer immediately with a saintly moralist speech, be suspicious. Real virtue hesitates because temptation is human. He who feigns holiness hides demons. If the person admits the temptation but chooses ethics, you have someone reliable. But if they say, "I would never think of that," they are lying to you or themselves. Even worse is the one who justifies, "It depends on who lost it." He who relativizes ethics based on circumstance will sell his loyalty as soon as the price is high enough. This question separates those who have deep-rooted principles from those who only follow rules for fear of legal punishment. The second key focuses on gratitude and memory. Machiavelli warned that men forget the death of their father sooner than the loss of their patrimony. Ingratitude is the trademark of traitors. You need to know if you are dealing with someone who honors those who helped them, or someone who spits on the plate they ate from. Resentful people are ticking time bombs that will explode in your lap. To test this, let's probe their past and observe how they describe former allies. Ask, who was the person who helped you most when you were starting out? And how is your relationship today? The answer is a map of the future. If they speak with affection and keep in touch, it is a sign of nobility. If they say, "Oh, so-and-so helped me, but then he changed," light the red alert. Toxic people have a habit of demonizing their former saviors, so they don't have to deal with the weight of the debt of gratitude. He who does not recognize past value will not recognize yours. Observe the victim narrative. If all past stories end with the person being misunderstood or betrayed, the mathematical probability is that you will be the next villain on the list. One who does not assume responsibility for their own conflicts is incapable of evolving. Machiavelli knew that a prince surrounded by those who do not admit mistakes is destined for ruin. Identify who will hold the shield beside you and who will point the finger at your back. We arrive at the third and most poisonous question, the envy test. Envy is a silent passion that no one confesses. The envious person doesn't just want to rise, he wants you to fall. Proximity breeds comparison, and comparison breeds hatred. Your most dangerous enemies are not far away but sitting at your table. To detect them, you must not talk about yourself, as this activates defenses. You will use a third element as bait to make the true face of envy appear. Mention a great achievement of someone you both know. Say, "I heard so-and-so achieved that huge success." And be silent. Watch the micro-signals. The envious person feels real physical pain at another's success. He won't be able to sustain a genuine smile immediately. There will be a delay, a look away, or tension in the mouth. The verbal answer will always be followed by a but that tries to diminish the other's victory. If the person cannot applaud the success of a third party, they will never celebrate yours. On the contrary, they will be secretly hoping for your stumble. Machiavelli warned that men offend out of fear or hatred. He who diminishes another's achievement reveals the fear of his own insignificance. If he speaks with disdain of a victor, he will speak exactly like that of you behind your back. Envy is corrosive and contagious. Get away before it undermines your self-confidence. Now visualize the power of combining these three tools. You tested the relationship with ethics, wallet, the memory of the heart, gratitude, and the reaction to success, envy. With these three data points, you have a perfect triangulation of the psyche. It is no longer a blind bet based on sympathy. It is a cold calculation based on behavioral patterns. You remove the fog of emotion and see the bone structure of character. The truth is liberating. The execution must be invisible. If they realize they are being tested, they will say what the conduct manual dictates. The art is in naturalness. These questions should arise between a sip of coffee, like someone wanting nothing. The most valuable information is that harvested when the guard is down. The great strategist is not the one who talks a lot, but the one who makes others talk more than they should, handing over their secrets. Keep the method locked in your mind. The hardest part is not asking the questions, it is accepting the brutal answers. Sometimes the one who fails the test is someone you love. What to do? Breaking abruptly is a mistake that creates enemies. The wise man only adjusts the distance. You do not hand the castle keys to someone who would open the gates to the enemy. It is about risk management, not drama. Learn to distinguish utility from loyalty. Keep them close if they are useful, but never trust vital secrets. In business, these three questions are worth millions. Before signing a partnership, take the candidate to dinner and apply the method. Find out how he treated past partners, how he deals with ethics in the dark, and how he reacts to the success of competitors. A dinner can save years of headache and bankruptcy. Due diligence must be psychological, not just financial. Character is the only asset that cannot be recovered once lost. Protect your company. In the personal field, blindness is even greater. Passion masks defects, but coexistence reveals cracks. Someone without integrity in difficulty will not be a partner in sickness. Someone who competes with you will not be a partner, but a rival inside the house. Use reason to choose who to share life with, or emotion will make you share your assets and sanity. Smart love sees reality and accepts it. Do not try to fix who has a character flaw. The essence rarely changes. Do not rush to judge. Time is the master of truth. Use the questions at different times. A slip can be an accident, but a pattern is law. Patience is a lethal weapon. Let people feel comfortable. It is in comfort that they forget to act and reveal the real architecture of their souls. Wait, observe, and only then act. The impulsive errs by haste. The Machiavellian hits by the precision of the moment. Let the fish die by the mouth. Now turn the mirror to yourself. If these questions were asked to you, what would they reveal? The pursuit of power requires us to be ruthless with our weaknesses. If you do not assume mistakes or feel envy, you are also an unstable piece. To master others, The first step is absolute mastery over your primitive instincts. Correct your flaws in silence. Real leadership is born of unshakable integrity. Be the example of what you seek. Do not underestimate the power of appearance. Just because someone is eloquent or rich does not mean they are honest. The devil usually comes well-dressed and speaks properly. The questions serve to pierce this superficial aura. Do not be dazzled by the packaging. The rotten content may be wrapped in silk. Use the scalpel of interrogation to see what is inside. Disappointment is just the truth arriving late. Train your eyes to see beyond the false shine. If your instinct screams that something is wrong, listen to it. Millions of years of evolution have honed your intuition to detect threats. If the answers sound false, even if the words are perfect, trust your stomach. Cognitive dissonance is the mind's fire alarm. Ignoring this internal warning is walking into a trap. Combine animal intuition with the logical analysis of the questions. When reason and instinct agree, you have absolute certainty. The modern world has amplified envy through social media. We live in the era of comparison. This makes the envy test even more vital. People are sick with desire for other people's lives. Identifying who can be genuinely happy with your success is finding a needle in a haystack. If you find someone like that, protect that relationship with your life. It is the most precious asset you will have. Apply healthy skepticism also to what you see online, and what to do when identifying a threat. The instinctive reaction is confrontation, but the wise man knows how to wait. Do not reveal that you know. Keep the person close, but take away their access to vital information. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer still, as the saying went. Knowing who the traitor is gives you the advantage of using or neutralizing him at the exact moment without warning. The element of surprise must be yours, never theirs. Act with total coldness. Keep this secret. If you share your strategy, it loses value. Let them think you have a sixth sense. Never explain how you know things. Mystery increases your authority. Let them speculate while you advance. Real power is silent, discreet, and invisible. Noise is for those who need attention. Silence is for the strong. Become an undecipherable enigma. The less they know about your methods, the more vulnerable they will be to your analysis. From today on, trust ceases to be an empty word and becomes an earned title. No one enters your inner circle without passing through these 3 gates. Who remains by your side will be worthy of sharing your table and your victories. It is better to walk alone in the right direction than accompanied by a crowd that drags you into the abyss. Select, filter, and protect your personal sanctuary. The quality of connections determines your flight. You are no longer the same person. A blindfold has fallen from your eyes. Reality may seem colder, but it is solid. There is no more room for childish illusions about human nature. You are armed with the wisdom of centuries, tested in the fire of history. Walk with your head high, not out of arrogance, but from the certainty that no mask will withstand your penetrating gaze. You see what others ignore. This clarity is the true superpower. The world will keep trying to fool you. New actors will take the stage with new masks. But now you have the antidote. Always remember the 3 keys: power, gratitude, envy. Repeat this as a silent mantra in every new interaction. Your mental freedom depends on the constant maintenance of this vigil. Never go back to sleep. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance, and now you are the sleepless guardian of your own destiny. Be always ready. Niccolo Machiavelli did not write for saints, but for those who wish to survive in the hell of intrigues. You received this heritage of thought today. Do not waste it. Use it to build a life where betrayal has no turn and lies find no fertile ground. Your mind is your supreme fortress. Protect it against invaders and keep the gates closed to those who bring only falsehood. Honor knowledge by applying it with rigor and daily discipline. The masks have fallen. The game has turned. Now you know exactly who is by your side and who must be left behind. Do not be afraid to use what you have learned. Life rewards those who have the courage to see the naked and raw truth. Go ahead and decipher every mind that crosses your path. The power to read hidden intentions now belongs to you. Use it with wisdom, use it with justice, but above all, Use it to win battles. Be careful not to fall into the trap of absolute cynicism. The goal is not to see enemies in every shadow, but to be alert for when they appear. Vigilance is not fear, it is readiness. Keep living and smiling, but keep one eye always open. The lion does not stop sleeping, but his ears are attentive to the snapping of a twig. Be like the lion, majestic in appearance, but lethal if provoked. The balance between lightness and strategy is the key. Observe the body too, for it does not know how to lie as well as the tongue. A delay of seconds in the answer, a throat clearing, a look away. These are all tells. Machiavelli observed how courtiers moved, not just what they said. When asking the questions, focus on hands and feet. Physical tension contradicts the relaxed word. Train your peripheral vision to pick up discomfort. The truth leaks through the pores of those trying to hold a lie. Never justify your distrust to someone who failed the test. If you explain, they will argue and try to manipulate your perception. The decision must be internal and silent. Distancing must be gradual and without dramatic explanations. Don't explain, don't complain, the Stoics said. Just act. By removing attention and intimacy, you punish the traitor with irrelevance. Leave him confused about the reason for the distance. His confusion is your security. By clearing the ground of weeds, you open space for flowers to grow. Initial loneliness will be filled by people of superior quality. A single loyal ally is worth more than an army of mercenaries. Value those who pass the tests. Reciprocal loyalty between strong minds is the most powerful force in the world. Build your empire with these chosen few. Quality will always outweigh quantity. Surround yourself with moral giants. The method boils down to these three pillars of probing: reaction to power, integrity; posture in adversity, gratitude; and reflex before envy, success. He who masters these three keys will never be caught by surprise. You will cease to be a leaf in the wind, carried by circumstances created by others, and become the firm root that supports the storm. The mental clarity this provides is the asset that separates leaders from the mass. Now that you possess the tools, you need the courage to use them. Most prefer the sweet lie to the bitter reality. Choosing to see the truth is a path for few. Do not expect applause for your insight. The prize of those who see the truth is survival. While the blind fall into the abysses they dug themselves, you build safe bridges. Intellectual courage is the first requirement of greatness. Dare to know, dare to see, dare to act. Do not leave it for tomorrow. The next face you meet will be your first practical test. Look deep, ask the question, observe the reaction. The power is latent, waiting to be activated by your will. Do not let the tool rust in the mental box. Proficiency comes with constant practice on the real battlefield. Transform every social interaction into a behavioral analysis lab. Have fun with the process of unraveling riddles. Take back control of your personal narrative. You are not a supporting actor in anyone's life. Use knowledge about human nature to write your own script. If you know someone is moved by vanity, praise them to get what you need. If moved by fear, show the risks. This is not being fake, it is speaking the language the other understands. Strategic communication is the key to moving pieces on the board without them noticing. A man's strength is not measured by his muscles, but by the capacity to read reality and act upon it without hesitation. With these three questions, you acquired an unfair competitive advantage over the majority who live on autopilot. Life rewards those who understand the hidden rules of the game. You now have the complete manual. Do not leave it on the shelf gathering dust while others play better than you. Take responsibility for your success. Remember, unarmed prophets were always destroyed while armed ones won. Your weapon is not a sword but profound knowledge of the soul. By asking these questions, you arm yourself against disappointment. Disappointment is nothing more than reality, destroying a false expectation. If you do not create false expectations, if you read the signs correctly, you become invulnerable. Emotional shielding is the final state of those who master the Machiavellian art. We have reached the end of the lesson, but the beginning of your ascent. The masks have fallen and the theater is over. You now see the backstage of the human mind. Go out there and play the game of life, no longer as a naive spectator, but as the protagonist who knows the script better than the other actors. Decipher, master, and win. The 3 questions are now yours. What you do with them will define the size of your legacy. The hunt for truth has begun. Good luck.